I just got back from digging in the city of Louisburg for the first time, and I had pretty good success. I just broke my old record of finding the most broken dispensary flasks. I haven't counted how many broken ones I found, and I only found one whole one, which I'll show you later. But it seems like about 35 slug-plated pieces came out, and I'm going to try and glue some of them together so I can get an accurate count and see if I can get any bottles to be almost intact. Then I found this really nice shade of honey amber. Unfortunately, it's unembossed. Here's one of the few intact bottles. Pretty common, but it's a ground top. It's probably 1903 or 4. And I found a few of these broken ones from Marion, which is a long ways off, about 300 miles away. I don't know what they were doing over here. All the Louisburg dispensaries were expected, but I did find one that was from another dispensary, and it was a giant size full quart, and I have most of the pieces for this one, and I'm going to glue them back together and see how it looks. Here's all the pieces, and you'll see what it looks like when I glue it together. And there's a dispensary style bottle that's whole, but unfortunately it's unembossed. And then we have a Pabst beer, which is broken, but I brought it home anyway. Maybe I'll make a drinking glass out of it. A couple of these pieces of Louisburg flasks have a yellow tint to them. And the rest of them are already turning purple. Then I found a number of stoppers, and I found a few of these nice looking Baltimore flasks. Of course they're all broken and they're fairly common anyway. Then I found an intact one of these, which should have been embossed too, but no such luck. But I did find one whole one of these Statesville flasks. This was the second best discovery. I don't know what a Statesville flask was doing all the way in Louisburg, but I guess this was one of those companies that distributed all over the state, since it's not really a dispensary flask, which is just used locally. I found one patent medicine. It just says headache cure, which I don't think I've ever seen this variant. It's probably the oldest one. Seems that it was in the 1900 to 1912 trash pit. Got a nice patina on it. And of course, if you don't know, this is a local North Carolina medicine. Well, I think I'm going to get to gluing a few of these pieces together and see what I can come up with. Well, I got it glued together. It doesn't look all that great, but there it is. I also found a gallon jug. This jug was actually laying right on top of that big flask and smashed it, which is pretty sad because this is just a $30 jug and that's at least a $300 flask. And then I got one or two of these broken. It's no big deal. It's probably a $7 bottle. I'm not familiar with this one. It's from Richmond. Well, I got 5 of these broken Catawba Valleys from Marion that don't go together. These two pieces sort of go together, but I wish I could have found a whole one. Another broken Richmond flask. 4 broken Lowensteins from Statesville that don't fit together. And I'm getting ready to... Well, I tried to glue some of these shards together, but there's actually none that fit together, and there's 45 of these broken Louisburgs. Okay, here's the 3 best bottles of the trip. Took about 5 hours to dig this stuff. Found about $400 maybe to $500 worth of stuff. The Louisburgs worth $300 at least. The Statesville one I do not know. I'm assuming around $100. The other one probably only 10 to 15. Then we got the jug, and then we got the broken 32 ouncer that we glued together. So it was a pretty good day of digging. I'll see you next time. Well, there it is, my first perfect dispensary flask. Hopefully not the last. I'm planning on collecting these now. I really like them. The half-pint ones especially, because the embossing fills up the whole front of it, as opposed to those quarts that have the same slug plate size but on a giant bottle with a lot of blank glass around it. So anyway, that's it for this time.